Welcome you guys, welcome back to another SayNoTae. It's your boy Gumby with Mini Gumby. I got Rashad right beside me. We got Bella and we got Jelly. Today we're watching Kendrick Lamar's The Heart Part 5. If you have not listened to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, then you should hit this as an interlude or as a preview and then hit Mr. Morale next. Kendrick Lamar has been on a 2-year hiatus. Now he's back to talk about music. Listen to it, watch the video, let's get into it. Kendrick Lamar, The Heart Part 5. And it starts with
Yeah.
Oof, that hurt.
Are those deep fakes?
Yes.
Ooh, that hurt.
So yeah, that was Kendrick Lamar, The Heart Part 5.
Beautiful. Very long story short, if you're a fan of hip-hop music that makes you feel comfortable, don't waste your time listening to Kendrick. That's not what he came to do. That's not what he came to do at all. I appreciate Kendrick Lamar being the new age epitome of what it means to be the 5 elements of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? An MC, someone who is into the dance culture, someone who understands what it means to be a lyricist, someone who understands not only music, but they understand tones, they understand the message, they understand the culture. So I appreciate it. At the end of the day, like, there are too many people out here who are making songs, making energy and music for people who just want to get up and be up and make money. But once you make the money, what else is there? Did you really go through the phase of handling anything in your life? Yeah, you were a drug dealer prior to, but in 6 months when you're a drug dealer and now you're a rapper and now you have $2 million, what's changed? You're a rapper and you have 2 million. You yourself have not changed. The world around you has not changed. You just made it up. And what has changed around you because of that situation. So I appreciate Kendrick for making sure we put perspective into everything that we do, especially when it comes to black culture. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Can you explain what he was talking about? Because I was having trouble listening to him. Because half of my listening is looking at your mouth. And half of the time his mouth wasn't matching the words. So it was fucking me up. So all I kept seeing was... Like, that's all I kept seeing. So when his mouth wasn't matching, I couldn't hear it. Because all I was getting from it was what I could match with some of the words he was saying with the controversial faces, which was everybody on there had controversy. Whether it's like, whether it was good or bad, but also people that I've noticed has the pressure of being the face of the black community. So all I could get from it was him saying fuck black culture, not like black culture, but fuck saying that it's just black culture. Like, we all have responsibilities for who we are, and not it being like stop blaming it on the culture. Like,
right.
It's your responsibility. Like, what you do is your responsibility. It's not the responsibility of the culture. It's your responsibility. So stop calling it's the culture. Stop making black culture a trend and make it like what it really fucking is. Like, it's not trendy to be like, because people use stereotype black culture as being like, it's okay to be ratchet. It's okay to be ignorant. It's okay to be disrespectful. It's okay to be a thief, to be a thug, like stuff like that. People tend to put that as a stereotype for black people, for the black culture. So what I could only get from it was Kendrick saying like, stop saying that that's black culture, because that's not black culture. That's not it. So that's all I could get, but I want to know what he really was saying.
So I think I'd have to go through the lyrics, like, you know, line by line.
Right, because I'm like, that was hard. I wanted to read it. Yeah.
I think I'd have to go stanza by stanza to like to really give you a full depiction of what he was saying. But there were some things where I understand that he was saying that at the end of the day, like, the culture is the culture because it's the habits that we as a people have continued to, you know what I'm saying, do over and over again. It's what we've continued to do. But in order to understand, like, now I'm realizing that I'm a part of the culture, but I'm outside of the part of the culture that I'm explaining to you.
Right.
So let me start bringing the faces of these people while I'm explaining this disconnection from what the culture is.
Right.
So what I'm hearing from Kendrick is, I was born in the West, for example, because I was born in the East, so it's a difference. Being born in the West, or being born in the street life, so to speak. He made a point in the beginning about how, like, someone gets caught doing a crime, he goes to jail and stays silent, so he has to stay down for 6 years and just be quiet. But while you're in jail, the guys that you used to run with, we're having sex with your baby mama.
Yeah.
Because she's lonely. Because you're in jail.
Right.
And it's like, oh, your man's in jail. Yeah, he's holding it down for us. We
Yeah,
appreciate
but
your
he's
mans.
doing it for the culture. He's not
doing it.
snitching.
Exactly.
Right.
He's
So
not
what you're
snitching.
saying is like...
Right. It's 100%.
Okay, so I'm
So-
not... I'm not completely, because I was like, let me just make
you're
sure.
On point.
Okay.
You're on point. You're on point. I'm just trying to make sure I connect you.
Yeah, I just want to
So,
make sure, because I don't want to say
ultimately-
anything offensive. So
And
I'm
when,
like,
no, you're good. And when you, that's a good point. So first things foremost, I'll answer that point before I go into it. The point that Bella is making, without trying to be disrespectful, which is the way to do it, is at the end of the day, I'm capturing this information, I'm receiving it in a certain way. This is what I'm hearing. What is he saying? You know what I'm saying? And so like that question needs to be asked. Again, if you get into the album that just dropped, this song makes more sense because Lamar continues to go back into what it means to live into black culture in this generation. Even if you've never been black, you'll never be black, and you don't know what it's like to be black, listen to the first half of his album and be like, okay, so the fact that you're talking on this and you're telling me that it's culture means that this is something that you had to be raised in, you had to accept, and now you're living in.
Right.
Not just like today I realized, oh, that's how it's done. It's like, no, for the last 20 years of my life,
this is how
I
it's
had to
always been.
fight through this idea until it broke me down to the point where I have to accept this idea, and now I'm at the point where I'm questioning this idea. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Yes.
So to reiterate what you're saying and to continue forward, I would say that Kendrick Lamar does the job of making sure that, yeah, you asked a question of like, so he does in a sense, and I'm gonna put this with me. He does with street culture what I do with Christian culture, and I say this because in my life, it's what I. So, very long story short, what I'm trying to say is what Kendrick Lamar does for the street culture is basically plays devil advocate in the sense. If you're used to growing up where street culture is, yo, bro, I shot you, you shot my bro, so I shot you. Well, after I shoot you, you shoot me. And after I get shot, he shoots you.
Right.
Kendrick's like, well, yo, bro, where does it end? If he shoots
Right.
you and you shoot him, where does it end? He literally makes it so... I've said this already, but now let me say it in a way where it sounds very lyrical. Now let me say it in a way where even if you don't know what my culture is, you can understand what I'm saying because you know what this means. You know what this means. He found a way to make sure that the language makes sense to people who know nothing of what this culture is. And that's why I respect Kendrick Lamar and the way he presents his own life on a pedestal. It doesn't do it because he's trying to do the prestige or he's trying to be like, this is what I went through. He's like, this is what I had to suffer through in order to get here to talk to y'all about it. Do you hear me? Most people are like, no, but I like the way it sounds on the beat. And other people are just like, yo, bro, you talking to me because I went through the same thing and I get it. So
I wouldn't say it's for other people outside of the black culture to understand. I think he's talking to the people
To the
that's
black culture,
within
yeah.
the black culture, because everybody can't relate to what he's talking about because they don't know about somebody cousin going down the street that was like, so why did that happen in the first place? Now we got to explain the whole fucking backstory of why these niggas shooting each other in the first place.
Right.
When we already know, we already have 10 scenarios already.
right.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying. Yes, he does make it like to where you can understand, but I think it's particularly for us. It's for us by us.
Okay.
And also I wanted to say that this is like the Heart Part 5. It's a Heart series. So this is the
Part
fifth.
3?
This is the fifth installment of Kendrick's The Heart series. Throughout his career, he released these songs before big albums, often using them to signify the beginning of new eras. So this is like, all right, this is what I'm about to be talking about on my album about to come out. So let's prepare.
Right.
come have a seat at the table.
Right.
And let's talk about it. Yeah, go ahead.
Also, on top of the Hard Part series, Kendrick Lamar also has an Untitled series, which he dropped between his, I think it's between his Good Kid, Mad City and his To Pimp a Butterfly album. But the Untitled series, it flows in the same sense with a mentality that he may not put in his album, but it's a mentality that's relevant to the culture which he's born and bred from. So listen to the Heart Part series and the Untitled series by Kendrick. You'll appreciate it.
But yeah, this is Kendrick Lamar, The Heart Part 5. Go listen to his album. It's great.
Appreciate y'all. Mr. Morale, the Big Steppers, just dropped yesterday, 5/12/22.
Yeah, and I feel like everybody can listen to this because it's about breaking generational curses and like overcoming things. So
And hopefully this will be a time, because you know how if y'all were here for the conversation that Jelly and Malik and I had when the whole Chris Rock and Will Smith thing happened, we did have a conversation about the black culture and about how Will Smith was being blamed for making black people look bad. It's not his fucking responsibility. His responsibility is himself, not y'all. Not his fucking responsibility.
And then on top of that, on the other side, it was like, well, if he didn't stand up for his wife, then what? So it was like, damn if I do, damn if I don't situation.
But either way, he was the one that got affected. Y'all didn't.
Exactly.
Y'all didn't. It's not going to be like, oh, okay, well, because Will Smith did what he did and I'm black too, my career is over. Nah, I ain't got shit to do with you. No, nobody even knows who the fuck you are. So no. But to use that as an example, I put up I said something because I don't normally play devil's advocate. It's normally, I just try to tell people what I see from all different perceptions. And one thing that I have been doing is checking myself when it comes to, I normally don't have anything to do where like I say anything about black culture or like Hispanic culture or anything. It's usually before I started checking myself, it was white people shit. Saying white people shit. So this is a very big thing. I appreciate that Kendrick is questioning his own people, saying like, this don't gotta be black culture. This is just something you decided to do. Not because you're black, because you thought this was the culture and you were basically brainwashed to think this was the culture, and it's not the fucking culture. It's not. This is a choice you're making. You're deciding to be okay with this. And because I'm gonna break generational curses, I'm not gonna be like every fucking buddy else because everybody want to do this because it's a trend and it's cool in the black community to be this way. I'm not gonna be this way. I'm gonna be who the fuck I am. And I'm gonna show y'all that y'all can do the same shit too. Because that's the same thing what I was talking about with the white people shit. Everybody else who isn't white will come out here and be like, oh, that's some white people shit, thinking that it's oh fucking K, because maybe some of their intentions isn't bad, it's like jokey, but it's still calling out some white people and saying that that's some white people shit. Because if a white person did the same shit to y'all and be like, that's some black people shit, and it didn't sound good, you wouldn't fucking like it either. So check yourself, and Kendrick is checking y'all too. Kendrick is checking his own people. And I appreciate that because sometimes somebody got to do it. Somebody got to do it. He's trying to be better than what he grew up in because he realized it wasn't okay.
That part.
And I appreciate the fuck out of you. I don't listen to your music because I just try to stay away from rap unless people introduce it to me, because I prefer somebody else that I trust to introduce it to me than to waste my time hearing some bullshit. So I appreciate this, and I will probably look into you more because of this one song. So I appreciate that. Challenge your fucking people. Keep them accountable.
Yeah.
That's the way.
All right, guys. Perspective and culture. We out.
Hell yeah.